That call is going to encompass, the Time for Change call, Awakening, is going to encompass some in-depth information about what we talked about on the Saturday call. So anybody who wishes to learn about their sovereignty and how to go about, we have a finite structure in place. So it would be recommended that you are on that call. Excuse me. Interesting when, imagine now that there was no seeing. None of us would see. We didn't see with our eyes. And just give you an example. If you never saw, okay, and so you couldn't differentiate between the superficial or the surface of others. So therefore you couldn't see their skin color. You couldn't make out their faces or anything. You would just know they were there. You would touch, shake hands, hug, hold, whatever. But you couldn't identify because of what color their skin was or what belief they had or anything, because you couldn't identify through that. You couldn't become clouded. Now, imagine if we had no hearing, no eyesight, and we could talk, but we did most of our communication through feeling, through our heart minds, through our hearts, through our emotion, through our love. Imagine how that would be. You would not be able to judge, really. See? You would not be able to. You would not be able to condemn or ridicule others, because you wouldn't know what they looked like. You wouldn't know how they moved or anything. You couldn't view them. You wouldn't be able to judge them, so to speak. That's something like when you move out of this third dimensional frequency, as many are, some not aware of it, excuse me, some are. But when you realize that, and you give this thought through the heart mind, because we're all one. So none of us are better than any other ones of us. None of us. It doesn't matter if you make a dime a day or $1 million a day. Doesn't matter. You can see how the structure has been manipulated on this planet for thousands of years with the civilization, with humanity. And as we move more and more and get more and more acclimated into the higher frequency, 5D, picture two Earths, just for now, two Earths. And they're both occupying the same space, yet they're in different frequencies. So they can occupy the same space because of the fact that they're different frequencies. Now, one is filled with judgment, ridicule, fear and loathing and disruption and anxiety and all kinds of things. The other one is the opposite. The other one is the opposite of what this one is. And so there's no prejudice. It doesn't matter if you have violet, pink, purple, orange skin and 2 fingers, okay, and 3 heads. It doesn't matter, okay, because whatever the God is housed in has no meaning, really. The only thing that is true connection is the gods within each and every one of us. And every one of us, there's no real exceptions. People say, well, there's those that are demon-possessed. Do you know where that comes from? You know who creates the demons? We do. So when you begin to embrace this perspective, this point of view, everything begins to change. The effort of being disjointed or misdirected, it leaves you. You respect everything and everyone because it is all connected to the pure consciousness. We don't imagine that if we were all gods outside the body now, we wouldn't be judging anything. We would be expanding and experiencing and flourishing and enjoying and in happiness and bliss and peace and learning from one another. The adventure of what is, not what will be, not what was, but what is. We don't go into worrying about what is right or wrong. We are experiencing every second of our existence. That's the fun part. We're not interested in, who has a hangnail and what's this person doing, that person doing. That's just, everybody is on their own adventure. This is a playground where we carry high respect for all life, all things, each other. So we're here to play and enjoy. Now, obviously, that didn't happen on the third dimensional Earth because it was so twisted and dank. And because of the frequency, and we lift ourselves, we decide, those that are conscious decide when we want to elevate and increase our frequencies through love, deep eternal love, and gratitude. Now you can say unconditional love, but the word conditional, unconditional, it kind of has a connotation, an undertone, a lower frequency to it. That's why we say deep, eternal, forever love. Deep, meaning all that there is, ever has been, ever will be. So we choose to use deep, eternal love. And the expansion of our love is with all things. It's the appreciation that, when you look at a tree, you're looking at part of yourself. I know that sounds funny to some, but it is true. When you see the beauty, you take it in. Beautiful, blue sky and puffy clouds and, green grass and birds and, all kinds of things happening. You take it in. It's, what it is? It's your show. It's your enjoyment because you had a lot to do with it. We all have. Our splendor, our enjoyment, our caring, our love creates. So this planet, we create a lot of the beauty. And you can tell, when you're taking in a sunset, you don't do it with your head, your mind, your ego mind. You do it with your heart mind. That's when you feel really fulfilled and expanded of what you're viewing and what you're seeing and how that is communicating with you, with the God within you. It's just absolutely spectacular. Now you imagine that we would occupy ourselves in such low frequencies is to interact with each other in violence, conflict, disruption. Does it make any sense to any of those of us who are awake? Really doesn't. It seems very frequency and density. When you look at something before, you were immersed in it or pulled into it, and you became a participant in it. Now it's more like, how silly is this? You're not judging anyone or anything. Your perspective is that of a spectator. You know, you're outside and you're viewing this. And if you notice that it gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And the reason is that your frequency increases because you choose to have it increase. You choose to embrace the love that you are. You choose to continue to interact with the God that you are within. And this is, with our abilities, innate, that we have not utilized yet because we've been so asleep for so very long, is changing. This is shifting because of the frequencies. All of us will experience a distancing, almost like when you're on a hot day and you look down far down a road or you're driving and you see the heat, and it's like a mirage almost, and you can see how the heat distorts things far away. And I know a lot of you have done that when you've been driving or on a trip or something, and you're somewhere and you look far and you see this kind of a it's different, so to speak. The cars stretch, and the movement of the heat in the air, and the road even seems to flicker and move. And what we're experiencing now is that we are ascending. People go, what is ascension? How do you know you're ascending? And this civilization is not collectively conscious across the board. So it's not like the entire civilization will ascend at once. Pieces of it will. And those who become awake and are ready will eventually ascend as well. So it's not like there's no separation, understand that. And I think a lot of people on this planet are fearful of separation. When you stop fearing, you start living. When you stop fearing, you start enjoying. When you stop fearing, you begin to manifest and create into reality many wonderful things. Imagine what it would be like if you had no fear. Because you know the construct of fear. We all know it. We know what it is because we experience it. Some of us every day. But the only thing that can harm us in these bodies, so I'm talking about the body, is us. Being at a certain place at a certain time. Choosing to get involved or stressed out or angry or disruptive. It is always us that determines what we're going to do because we send it out to the universe, and the universe sets it all up. You know, would you like a place setting of 6 or 12 or 1? And there it is. So we're moving very rapidly. Things are shifting and changing. Things are moving into place. And don't for a minute believe that this is helter-skelter, that it is all a bamboozlement, because it isn't. It's been finitely designed from the beginning. All of it has. And the source creator, the God which makes up all of us and all things, is absolutely, along with the universe, is absolutely right on the dot. So right now on this planet, massive transition, massive awakening. Yeah, people have been awakening for years, obviously, but not at the accelerated rate that it is now. The smaller part that you witness, the disruption, the fear, the cajoling, the containment of the civilization to still try to herd them, and to use cattle prods, electric wands to herd them so that that they go into the direction you desire than to go in fear and disillusionment, anxiety, anger, frustration. Because it is an absolute exact fact. What you do unto others, you will do unto yourself. How you treat others is how you will treat yourself. That's just the way it is. And it's amazing how many of us are still not there with that. And they think it's a joke. They say, oh, yeah, right, sure, okay, fine. But what you do to others, you're doing yourself. And people say, well, how can that be? It's because we're all one. When you affect someone, you affect yourself. Okay? When you love yourself, you'll love others. You see, you can't, to love someone else, lifelong romantic love, relationship, cannot be really successful at all unless you love yourself. And a lot of people, believe it or not, are very uncomfortable with that. They're very uncomfortable with loving themselves because they feel that they've done bad things, or they shouldn't have done this. What's right, what's wrong, so on and so forth through their lives. And so they have not forgiven themselves, which is the biggest hurdle, is to genuinely forgive yourself. So, isn't it funny that this civilization has been cajoled or directed or moved into the understanding that it is bicameral for the most part, but it's just a residual effect because they're all conscious. See how just crazy that is. And then they're tested every now and then with something that instills fear to see if they still are a herd of animals so that they can be herded into the direction that the lower frequencies wish them to go. And why do we say lower frequencies? Anybody wishing harm upon anyone else is a low frequency. It is. It's just bottom line. It isn't a judgment. It is a fact. And we know when we're around others that have low frequencies because their intent is not of love, it is not of peace. And I'll tell you something, when people say, well, you know, people that are lovey-dovey and tree huggers and everything are weak, they're not powerful and strong, it's actually the opposite. Those of us who choose and intend to embrace this life in joy and happiness and peace is because we are powerful. It is those who wish to instill anger, frustration, conflict, and destruction, annihilation, are the ones who are in lower frequencies of weakness. Yes, there's power there, but the power comes from who? In order for there to be power, one must give the power. Okay? So if you have 1 million people, and you have one leader, and that leader drives them and leads them and guides them into oblivion, it is the only reason that that's possible is that 1 million people gives that leader the power to do so. It's the only reason. It's so different on this planet right now across the world, globally. Whether it be China, whether it be Europe, whether it be Eastern Europe, Ukraine, Russia, Australia, it doesn't matter. Because all of us house pure consciousness, the God. So it doesn't matter if we're 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 miles away, 6,000, 7,000 miles away, 10,000 miles away, because we're all connected. Doesn't matter what our faces are, what our bodies are, how we look, what color our skin is, how we smell. It has no bearing. And that's why you see people that are moving into a higher frequency of ascension, because it's not there for them anymore. They don't care to pretend. They've learned all that they desire to learn. They've experienced in this lower density and frequency all they care to experience. So now they're deciding that in harmony and commune with the God within them, that they're increasing the vibrational frequency of their being, and they're moving into the higher frequency of joy, paradise, bliss, happiness. What happens when people are happy? You guys have experienced it, right? What happens when you're around? And it's genuine. It's not created, okay? It's just genuine joy and happiness. And you know when it comes through your heart. You know when it's through your heart. You know when it's through your head. You know the difference because of the feeling. Through the head, it's kind of just blah, you know? Through the heart, it's stimulating, and it's vibrating, and it's exciting, and it's fun. And we move. Now, also, you're going to begin to understand that the feminine energy of 5D is much more powerful than the feminine energy here in 3D, because in 3D they wish to extinguish the feminine energy. You can't extinguish it. You can suppress it, but you cannot extinguish it. There would be no existence, there would be no continual existence without the feminine energy, the yin and the yang, the Mother, Father, God. There must be balance. And in the higher frequencies, you'll notice that the balance is becoming more prevalent. It's becoming smoother and much less obtrusive. So you flow. Would you prefer, through your heart, mind, to exist in a world that was literally paradise? You pick out a stage in your life or experience or an existence where you truly thought or felt through your heart mind that you were in paradise. Doesn't matter if it was on a beach or a getaway. Could have been down the street from where you live. Could be anywhere. But paradise isn't, it's only there if we make it there. That's it. Okay? And letting go of all attachments and all things, and realizing just how spectacular you are. Literally. It's not ego mind. It's from your heart. How magnificent of a being you are. How powerful of a being you are. How loving. How creative. You literally can do it all, and the only way you don't is because the ego mind and how you've been trained in physical form in this life dictates otherwise. You're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to just scratch and claw through life, and you're supposed to experience the destruction of the body through years. You're supposed to go through pain, anguish, sorrow. Does that make any sense to anybody? Really? Does it really make any sense? We have gods within us. We commune with the gods. We begin to discover ourselves. We embrace ourselves, and we love ourselves, and we forgive ourselves. So we view everyone the same way. Everyone. And we are stewards, and you're going to learn very shortly what that means. What a steward really is. What a sovereign really is. And what it means. Because doesn't it make sense that part of the civilization is awake? They're ascending. The other part is still asleep. But we're all ascending in different levels. So those asleep are very slow on ascension, but eventually they all wake up. And every now and then they need a bucket of ice water thrown on them. They're sound asleep, and they have a bucket of ice water thrown on them, and they're slapped across the face. And then they awake. Now, when that happens, you can picture that. It's pretty disturbing at first, right? Because you have no clue. If you're just sound asleep, and you get hit with an ice-cold bucket of water and a slap across the face, you're going to be in shock at first. You're going to be like, what the heck? What's going on? And then as you get yourself in balance and your vision clears and you start looking around, you start to discover, where the heck have I been so long? You know, look around me. This doesn't make any sense to me anymore. It really doesn't. So then you begin to embrace things like you and the love of you. And then you start discovering the God within you, the pure consciousness. And then you start understanding this, that we're all connected through a finite, pure consciousness. So we all experience, we're experienced in different directions and stuff, but guess what? We all end up at the same journey, at the same place. So we're perfecting and experiencing for the one, the whole, all of us. And it's 5D, fifth dimensional frequency. And it's to begin to understand what exactly that means. So it's very interesting for us, and it's absolutely paramount. And a lot of people will go, that's just silly, can't do that. How can I do that? I have a hard time loving myself at times. How can I love everything? How can I do that? How can I love everything? Well, it begins with learning and accepting who and what you are and loving yourself. But love everything. Everything, everyone. I don't mean intimate love. I mean love everyone. Love them. Because when you treat others like you care to be treated, it expands. Love expands. What do you think we're doing? We're intensifying and we're expanding constantly. And that is a deep eternal love. Love everything. Sometimes that's a real challenge for us, but when you go with the flow and you have downstream thinking, you're in the canoe without any oars, and you're letting that current just take you wherever it takes you. You're not fighting it. You're not fighting the current. You're not going upstream. You're just letting that river take you. It's very important that when you begin to love yourself, you will begin to love everything. Because guess what? Each of us is everything. And everything is each of us. Each of us is everything, and everything is each of us. So if you will, go to the place where you aren't going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Now, some people go, I don't want to take time to relax. I got too many things going on and everything. Body will take care of itself. No, not really. So you relax the body. You say, hey, body, let's let go of all the things that we've attached ourselves with in the last 24 hours. You start there. Let's just let it go. Any fears, any anxieties, anything that's taking place. Please, let's let it go. My body will respond, let it go, drop your shoulders, because I'm telling you, check yourself out during the course of the day. Now, when you're in the moment and you're in the now, and you say, let me check to see what stress level I'm at. And then just consciously, don't try to force it, but see if your shoulders are down. Some are a little bit up, some are a lot up, some are really a lot up. And you're not conscious of it. So just check your shoulders. That's usually what happens. The shoulders kind of bunch up. We don't know it. So as we relax the body and we let go, and we surrender all of the attachments that we may have attracted, then we want to move into the now. Because the now is everything for us. It's all we have. It does so many wonderful things by us choosing to be in the now. What does it do? It stops the noise. It stops the noise, the incessant thoughts coming in from the ego mind. It stops the noise coming in from the subconscious mind. And all we're doing, we're concentrating just on that moment, the space space between heartbeats. Just that moment. That's it. That's all we're concentrating on. Just that moment. It could be anything. You could be clipping your fingernails and you're focused on it. And what does that mean by focusing on it? Well, you're watching, you're looking, you're talking, saying, look, okay, that one's all right there, and okay, this one here, I cut that one too deep, but that's all right. You know, and it sounds silly, but that's what we do. That's being in the now. So you don't have all those thoughts that are harassing you and banging on you, and, you know, I mean, thousands of them every 24 hours, nonstop. And the point is, they're all thoughts, and you know, we're grabbing this one and bringing this one, and let's just bring this one in, create it to reality. So the now is paramount. And here's something that we should be aware of by now in these meditations is that we don't care to go into the past. We all do it. You know, we're reminded of something we're doing, and it reminisces, or we find something when we're cleaning out and purging, and we pick it up and go, oh, and then we start reminiscing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if we get too seduced and we do it too much through the heart, then we're going to take the past, we're going to bring it into the future that doesn't exist, and then we're going to create a future from the past and relive the past in that future. This is why a lot of people on this planet will say to themselves, or maybe to others, why does it feel like I'm always running in circles and have been my entire life? That's why. Okay? We're creative, aspiring beings, and we look forward and we just continually move forward. We don't look over our shoulders. We keep moving forward, experiencing new things. We don't become sedentary. We're constantly on the move. Now also, as we relax the body and we move into the now, we want to breathe. We want to breath in through our nose and breath out through our mouths. Breathing is absolutely paramount for our bodies. We have to have it. We cannot sustain with no breath, obviously. That's a given. So when we breath in, we're breathing in divine positive energy. It's a pure frequency. It's wonderful. When you breath, you become rejuvenated. You recover. When you're exercising and you're out of breath and you concentrate on your breathing, you recover. You calm the body and its functions. You de-stress yourself. You become more serene and peaceful through breath. You lower blood pressure. You begin to move more freer, less obstructed. The breath is paramount. So visualize for a moment as you take your breath, your pure divine energy, and you pull it. As you bring it in easy through the nose, and it goes up through the center of your body. And it goes right up through all the light, all the wheels of light of your chakras, all 7 major chakras through the center of the body. And all of these chakras, these wheels of light, they're circular or flower petal shaped. They're vortexes of energy lying across even different points on your spinal column. They're connected to different glands and organs in the body and are responsible for uniform distribution of your chi or your ki or prana, which is basically your life energy, the God energy within you, through them. And when there is a disruption in this life energy or a blockage in any one or more chakras, you may suffer from health or mental issues. Thus, those chakras from the energy ecosystem of every individual, a deficiency in this ecosystem can wreak havoc in the different areas of life. That's how important they are. So understand that as you visualize, you bring this divine positive energy, your breath, through the red wheel of light, the root chakra, the Muladhara. This is the energy, stability, comfort, and safety, the I am. And when you use the I, and then the word after that, keep an eye on the ego at all times. And then as you move the I am through the root chakra, you move into the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana, sexuality, sensuality, pleasure, sociability, I feel. If that chakra is disrupted or out of sequence, you will have issues physically and emotionally with your love life, with your romance, with love, period. Then we'll move through the yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. Strength, personality, power, determination, I do. Then we move through the green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the Anahata. Acceptance, love, compassion, sincerity, I love. Then we move through the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. Communication, expression, creativity, inspiration, I talk. You know, if you have a hard time communicating and a hard time expressing yourself, then your throat chakra, the Vishuddha, is not in harmony. When we go to the violet wheel of light, the third eye chakra, the ajna, the intuition, lucidity, meditation, trust, I see. And then finally we go through the purple wheel of light, crown chakra, the Sahasrara, knowledge, consciousness, fulfillment, spirituality. I understand. So all of this divine positive energy that's moved through the chakra system of your body, the connections of the etherical spirit to the physical and back, the balance, the chi, the power of the God within, the energy, the form, the fluidity, the movement. As you do this, you move it up to the back of the head. And as you move it to the back of the head, you hold it briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. In that brief moment, you compress and condense that divine positive energy as the breath in, and you literally condense it into pure, liquid, divine, positive energy. It is supremely powerful, and you release it over the pineal gland. Why? Because the pineal gland is our gateway to all the particles of existence. It is our gateway to pure consciousness. It is our gateway to beyond. It's very important to have it fully functioning in these bodies while we're in them. So this exercise, this process, it expands the pineal gland into full functionality. It's like a rosebud. It's just a green ball that then, as you do and release this divine positive supreme energy, it literally expands and opens like a rose. And it stays vibrant and fragrant and shimmering. And therefore you have opened the gateway to all gateways. So you want to visualize this and do it whenever you choose. In this meditation, obviously, but at other times, for balance, for focus, for relaxation, for gentleness and kindness, a generosity, humbleness, to balance your chi, your ki, your prana, your God energy. We are always being presented with the ego mind. We know it. And we basically, in love, we tell the ego mind that it isn't in charge, that we are. So we tell it ask it to take a seat. Doesn't mean that it's going away for good, because it'll come sneaking in. It's a crafty little guy. Now, we're all consciously aware that we are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. Consciously aware. And we're gathered here. This gathering is a massive meditation for this planet Earth Gaia Arya in this now. We have others with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Many, many, many. Trillions of them. They're consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And they're a civilization that vibrates in a different frequency than we do. All of us are equal as the one, as the God essence, as the pure consciousness. So they've been assisting us forever as we have been them. Sometimes they'll appear in physical form, noid form, and they'll leave us a message. And then they're gone. We both assist each other. We also have the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth. Many, many, many more. Now, these are those who have ascended out of body and hold God form, pure consciousness. We are God form that has ascended into body to experience physical form. They've done that. So have we many times. And we're all perfecting and experiencing. They're consciously aware that they're the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And all three of us together at this gathering were immediately compelled to call out to all of the different facets and parts of the one, of the source creator. So we call out to all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this gathering, this now, this meditation of forming the circle of light. They come into gogaplexes. One gogaplex fills this entire universe. They come in trillions of gogaplexes from every direction. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth. Many, many, many civilizations and species. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of the deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, this gathering and the forming of the circle of light. And they come in the billions. And we call upon all of the off-worlders, all the galactics. And there are many, many, many of them. There's over 1,000 civilization species that traverse this part of the galaxy, this quadrant, in this solar system every day. No different than a highway, a freeway. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, this gathering, forming the circle of light. Now, we're familiar with some of them, a fraction of them. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Zeta Reticuli, Greys, Draco, Nords, Golden Pyramid, Avians, Feline. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution. They've been assisting us in our enlightenment, our ascension. freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they come in billions. We also call upon all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, this gathering in the form of the circle of light. We also call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, in this gathering in the form of the circle of light. There's literally trillions of them. And they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which many we have never seen before. And just to name a few of them, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trolls, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation. We're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand at the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light. All of our gods together. We are in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And we are all one. And we are all love. And we are all God. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Now we have formed this magnificent circle of light. It literally illuminates everything, rays out the darkness of space. It would take at least 1 billion of the suns in the solar system to compare to the brightness and depth of this white light, which is pure consciousness, which is the God, the love, the deep eternal love. So we all begin to levitate, understand we're bathing, we're saturating, flooding everything and everything with this circle of light, this white light. So as we go up, we're literally met, we illuminate this gossamer field, which is filled with trillions of vibrant, spectacular colors, lights. It's like a sea of glitter. And we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. We're immediately met then with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds us of our power, our strength, our resolve. Then we're met immediately with the white fire. This column reminds us that we are imbued at all times with white fire. It is the armor of God, of pure consciousness. It is deep, eternal love and gratitude. It is of the highest high frequency, head to toe, inside and out. Brilliant white light, flaming. And only you, each of us, have the power to diminish that white fire armor. If we choose to lower our vibrational frequency into conflict, prejudice, negative, judgment, hatred, greed, it will lower our white fire armor armor to the extent that it will allow the lower dark matter frequencies or the lower survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. In the event we choose to do this, we are then met with the purple transmuting flame. This is the column that reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can literally transmute all of these lower frequencies into neutral light substance. We can then send them back to pure consciousness where they are no more. We send them back to the God, the one, source creation. Then we're immediately met with the violet ray. This column reminds us that we can bring the violet ray on right behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can purify and cleanse, uplift, reinstate the high vibrational frequency of deep eternal love and gratitude, therefore restoring our entire white fire armor. We're also met with the golden white pink light. This column reminds us of who and what we are and what we are made of. We're made out of pure, deep, eternal love, pure, deep, eternal gratitude. This is everywhere. We are reminded of it in the sunsets, in the sunrises, in the rainbows, in the sky, in the reflection of the water, everywhere. It's always reminding us of how beautiful, magnificent, and supreme beings that we are. Now, we continue to levitate up, and some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside of our bodies and effortlessly float above them. Now, as we continue to move up, we're met with this massive column. And this column is larger than this solar system. And we've designed it so that the column itself is opaque. You see this shimmering, this aura, this blaze of bristling. And it is a multitude of trillions of vibrant rainbow color aura. It's just vibrating and pulsating. And then we go to the top of it, and we see this golden ocean. We designed it so the golden ocean can flow 360 degrees in all directions, flooding, saturating, bathing everything and everything with deep eternal love and gratitude. Now, each of us hold our drop of the golden ocean, and we hold the essence of that golden ocean. All of us. And this golden ocean is flooding this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, this meditation. It's saturating everyone, all things and all things, on, in, above and below. And then we move over and we see this meditative sphere, magnificent, beautiful. And it holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Close to 900 meditations in perpetual motion. This is pure, deep, eternal love of that which we are made. And deep, eternal gratitude. It is flooding this entire planet inside and out, above and below. Everything and everything. With deep, eternal love and gratitude. The intensity cannot be measured. That's why it continues to expand every day. And this is why it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Visualize this. All of us gathered. All of us meditating. We have no expectations. We have no attachments. We flow with the God that is with us and in us. We walk with the gods that we are. This is expansive. We see no prejudice. We see no skin colors. We see no anger, conflict, frustration. We see no greed. We see no manipulation. It is abolished. It is being disintegrated. our vibrational frequency through deep eternal love and gratitude towards ourselves and then with others, this low frequency diminishes and then is no more, because we move deeper into 5-dimensional frequency. And we continue to intensify, and we continue to expand everywhere. And we are reminded all the time that we are the love, we are the one, we are the God, we are the pure consciousness. We create universes. Everything on this planet we have created. It is part of us, and we are part of it. The same with the Jupiterians, the Saturnians, all of us. This meditation stretches throughout the solar system. It stretches throughout the universe. It affects all things, everything, and everything. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. gratitude. You are in fifth density. You are becoming sovereign. You're moving into higher and higher frequencies. All the prejudice, all the judgment, all the negativity, all the obstacles, all the greed, all the anger is removed. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We'll be back here July 1st, 2020, Wednesday, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. And we will also be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m.